everyone, and welcome to week 8 on our horror podcast. This week we are talking about all sorts. We're basically going to be yapping.
Yappa.
Shut it, please. I'm not going to lie to you all. If you know me personally, you know I don't beat around the bush. We struggled this week to think of content, didn't we? This is our 8th week, so we have decided to basically just talk about horror.
Yeah.
There's no subject this week. It's just going to be horror icons, so like Gal Weathers, Chad, all the people we know from Scream. But there's also going to be a very, very big focus on Final Girls.
Yeah. Mainly between like Laura Strode, Sydney Prescott, and
who?
What did I say?
You struggled to say that, didn't you?
What?
Laura.
Yeah.
Laurie.
Did you say Laura?
You said Laura. What an introduction. What a fucking masterpiece that is. I'm putting that in, mate.
Anyway, and then we're going to be speaking about a newish sort of Final Girl that's more popular now.
Yeah. We are going to divert, and as you all know, especially if you've been returning, if you haven't, I don't know what the fuck's wrong with you. But we are very giggly. So yeah, that is basically what this week is. We have the next couple of weeks planned, but weeks that we struggle, we are going to just basically talk shit.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Obviously the Final Girls are the sole survivors, so we didn't want to just do it on that. We wanted to speak about characters that play a pivotal point within franchises, as well as the main persons. What?
The main character.
The main characters, yeah. So it's going to be a bit all over the place to begin with, because it's just trying to start it, isn't it? It's always really difficult to start. So I think we'll start with Final Girls. Now, I think the two most well-known Final Girls in horror is Laurie Strode and Sydney Prescott.
Yeah.
Purely for probably Laurie Strode more than anyone. Purely just because of how popular the films are. Now, cliche or not, I'm going to say it off the bat. I'm going to say my favourite straight away, because I could literally talk about her till I'm blue in the face. My favourite is Laurie Strode.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's because you've kind of watched her grow up.
What, in the franchise?
In the franchise, yeah. Obviously, she's not in all the Halloweens, but she's in the majority of them, and she is kind of the person that carries the franchise.
Yeah.
And also her, I think, like her one-liners in the films, and when she says "Happy Halloween, Michael," and then like fucks him up, and you know what I mean, like things like that.
From her going from completely helpless to then going from like
strategic. That's a difficult word. I knew what you meant.
Yeah, no,
yeah. Well, she knows how to deal with
the
him.
End one, like Halloween Ends. Is that
Halloween Ends? Yeah,
where she has all the bunker, and then do you know what I mean?
Oh no, that's Halloween.
No, what one is that one?
Well, when she's got her own house, like in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, then those reporters come round, and then
that's 2018.
Yeah, what was it called?
Halloween 2018.
Was that it?
Yeah.
Oh, what random.
Yeah, so it's Halloween 2018, then Halloween Kills.
Is that the one with
for the
new granddaughter in it?
Yeah, that's where they start, and then it carries on a bit like with obviously the first Halloween. It then carries on to Halloween 2.
Yeah. It
carries on from one another, and that's what Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills does.
Yeah.
And then obviously there's a gap, and then Halloween Ends.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. But apparently there is another one coming out.
I don't know how they do that though.
But, wow, it's called Halloween Aftermath. I didn't know about it until I saw it on Instagram the other day. But I think it's going to be a completely... I don't think, obviously, Laurie Strode's going to be in it and anything like that.
You reckon?
The trailer looks banging, though.
Yeah.
It looks really good. I don't know how
legit...
but
I've seen after, like, of them filming all the Halloweens, she's done a lot of, like... I think you put it up actually on your TikTok. Do you know when she sat in the chair and then she goes, Michael! And then he comes out behind.
Oh, yeah.
What's that one? You did it on your TikTok, I think. Like, she does loads of videos about Halloween.
Oh, when she goes, oh my God, you're so slow. Like that. And then he just comes around the corner.
Then she just shouts
I don't know what
his name.
accent that was. That was like my really good American accent, apparently. I think that's what I love about her, though, because she's actually...
very passionate about it.
She's very passionate about it. I'm pretty sure Jamie Lee Curtis... Jamie Lee Curtis? What? Who's that? Jamie Lee Curtis. Fucking, whatchamacallit? help produce some of the newer ones. I might be totally wrong. I'm not very like clued up when it comes to producers and things like that. I'm not gonna lie. I just kind of watched the film and love the characters. That's it, really. No, I'm wrong. Oh, wait, there. Yeah, so like Halloween Kills, for example, it says Jason Plum served as producer on the film through his Plumhouse Productions banner alongside Malik Akid and Bill Block. Executive producers include Jamie Lee Curtis and John Carpenter, with Carpenter also returning to compose the score with his son Cody Carpenter and Daniel Davies, or Davis, I don't know how you say that. So yeah, she kind of really started to get involvement on the franchise. You got to imagine she probably built such a good relationship with like John Carpenter and things like that. So that's what I love about it. It's almost like a bit of a, I want to say like a nostalgic feel. I don't know if that's the right term to use. It's almost like, because it always goes back to the first one, sort of thing.
I would say so.
And like watching her grow up, like for me, obviously it's not just about that, why she's my favourite, but I love her in the films generally anyway. And like you said, like watching her strategies evolve and
going
how she deals
to then
learning. She gets a bit obsessive with him and knows his every move, knows he's going to be like getting moved out of like the nut house thing on it. You know, I just like the whole kind of obsessive evolution. Exactly. And I suppose it's kind of, I think with Sydney Prescott, it has, again, that same nostalgic feel. Yeah. Because she's in the first Scream.
Yeah. And then in the last one, she's in, what's it called? She's got her own place, but then everything's like...
She's still got involvement. They still mention her. Yeah. I know she wasn't in... Was it the last one she went in a lot? Or was it the one before that? You know, when he calls her...
I think it might have been 3. I'm entirely
sure.
No.
It's one of the newer ones. You know, when... You know, when Dewey calls her and says not to come back... must have been the 5th one, because I don't think it was. No, they weren't in New York. Yeah, it was the 5th one. And when Dewey calls her and he's like, "Don't come back,"
is this the one where
they still involved her?
Book sign, and she comes back to Woodsboro like an idiot. We won't get into that.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
She's older now.
I can't spin it off the top of my head.
She wrote her book, and then she decides to come back to Woodsboro to have her book signings and stuff.
Yeah,
and then that's where Dewey finds like the weapons in the back of her car, and then because someone's planted it there, etc.
No, I think that's an older one. I don't know. You're gonna have to look now because that's bothering me.
I don't remember what Scream.
No, the one I'm on about is in Scream 5. I think it's Scream 5, where obviously it's got Sam and Tara in it, which we're going to talk about them as well.
Is this the one where she goes to Sam? Oh, that's blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
house.
It's the one where Dewey dies in it, doesn't he? He don't die in 6, he dies in 5.
No, yeah.
Yeah. But what I'm getting at is, even though she isn't in it a lot, they still either mention her or they do like a little scene with her in it, because obviously it's still trying to... She is the face of Scream. You know what I mean? It is Scream 5, is it?
Yeah, Scream 5.
Yeah, I thought it was.
But she's also apparently... coming back for the 7th film.
Yeah, I heard that.
I don't understand that, to be honest.
Yeah, but I feel like with her, like with Laurie Strode, I think they can keep going with it.
Yeah.
But I feel like because they, obviously, we know for reasons we're not going to get into, like we've said before, but we know that obviously Melissa and Jenna's not returning for Scream 7.
Yeah, but maybe that's how they can, though, because from different perspectives.
Oh, like, okay.
Because obviously Scream 5 and 6 was from Sam's and Tara's perspective.
Yeah.
And then now that obviously for certain reasons they can't be in it, they can now go back to, because obviously they still mentioned Sydney, so now they can go back to Sydney.
Which would make sense with Matthew returning as well.
Yeah,
really,
exactly, with Sydney's new life, etc. And now it's going to get bombshelled. You know?
Bombshelled.
Yeah, because don't you remember when Gail said, oh, Sydney needs a happy ending?
Yeah.
And then she has a technically happy ending, and now that obviously
Matt's been shat on.
Yeah, basically.
But yeah, it's like, that's, I kind of, because obviously my second one is Sydney, I would probably say. But there is such a difference between Laurie being a final girl and Sydney being a final girl. I mean, I think Sydney Prescott's a bit of a whiny fuck.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. Whereas Laurie Strode just sort of gets on with it.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say?
I feel like
sorry, Neve.
I feel like
Not bad.
Yeah, I feel like with Sydney though, how they've done it when she's like Joe, like, I think it is might be 3.
Soap in me bottle. Sorry.
I think it is 3 on 1 about Scream 3, where she has her own place. I don't know how, money wise, but then she's like locked away.
Sorry, I was swallowed. I went,
she locks herself away.
She's working on like the helpline, isn't she? Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
So she's locked herself away, kind of like how Laurie's locked herself away, but with Sydney's kind of a very like watered down version.
Yeah, but with Laurie, she was locked away, but she knew Michael was coming. She was preparing herself for it.
Yeah.
With Sydney, she was just shitting her pants.
But she just thought that the killers were dead.
Yeah. Well, it's a different thing, innit? Obviously, Michael Myers is
Matthew and Billy and Buddy
Stu.
Saying them by their real names. Billy and Stu were dead.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, what was the other killer in Scream 2? Yeah.
Mikey. Oh, and, oh my God, and Mrs. Loomis.
Yeah.
Which is, obviously,
Did
Nancy.
Scream 2 is not really
Billy Loomis's mum, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think I've literally watched that a handful of times. I love Scream. It's like my favourite. No, it's not my favourite. Halloween is my favourite. But it's my second favourite. Yeah. But if I put Scream on, it's the first one, the fourth one, and then like the newer ones.
Yeah,
I do watch the others, but unless I'm doing like a marathon.
And I like the information on sort of information. It comes back to me sometimes, like just now, like with the video camera thing. But then sometimes I've got to actually like research it. And like, I haven't really watched it. But that's what I'm trying to say. Like, with Sydney's killers, they're all dead
and they're real people.
Yeah,
whereas
so
Michael Myers is just weird.
Because with her, she goes, "Okay, they're dead. I've seen him, be dead.
Pew pew. What the fuck is that?
Pew pew. Dead. So she knows that they're dead. Whereas obviously with Laurie, is it Laurie?
Laurie, yeah.
Laurie. She knows obviously Michael's alive still, and he can't,
I'm trying to explain what Michael Myers is.
Like every time he kills, he becomes more.
Yeah, he gets stronger. Yeah. But I don't know, because I thought when I've always thought when he heard his sister's name Judith, he gets like, because in Scream, what the fuck collaboration?
Yeah.
Can you imagine that actually? Like a Halloween and Scream, like that'd be weird, wouldn't it? I mean, that would never happen in a million years, but I'm chatting shit now. What was Michael Myers' weakness? What? Sorry, I was reading something. What is Michael Myers' middle name? What the fuck? The doctor, and he puts like Michael's mask on, and it's fucking creepy. You know, when he when Michael's knocked while he's on the floor, and then he picks his mask up, and then he puts it on, and he looks frowned at that fucking freaks me out. And then he's in the back, Michael, without his mask on.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like unconscious or something like that. And then she says, "Oh, if you let me, I'll tell you what he said if you let me go." Do you remember?
Yeah.
And then he goes, "Oh, was it Judith?" And when she went fuck off, when he says Judith, he starts waking up. So I didn't know, because obviously Judith's who he killed, isn't it? Like his sister in the first one. So I didn't know if that maybe gave him strength as well.
I don't know.
But obviously he gets stronger with each kill, I'm pretty sure. It says, Michael Myers displays superhuman strength capable of, I don't know what that says, far beyond what a normal human could achieve. He can lift and throw people with ease. Well, we know that. That's not what I'm fucking asking, is it? I wanted to know is, like, because I've heard so many different things about, like, what he is. You know what I mean? If he's, I can't explain the word, but I know it in my head. So it says, in the original Halloween films, Michael Myers is depicted as a human being, although he possesses superhuman strength and resilience and can survive injuries that would kill a normal person. The original creators, including John Carpenter, intended to create a character that was both human and a force of nature, a legendary figure that can't be denied. That's not what I'm asking, no. Yeah, so he's got supernatural elements, but it's almost like, that's what I love about, like, with Laurie, because it's like she knows how, like, to deal with him. Obviously not that well, because it took a couple of films for her to fuck him up. But what I'm getting at, no, but it did. No,
I'm trying to find out if he gets stronger when he hears his sister's name.
Yeah.
And you know, obviously, when you can see what other people have searched, what people have asked,
Yeah.
someone's put, how to get Michael Myers strength.
That's probably me. That was probably what I googled.
1, for time. 2, 30 back squats. 3, 60 sit-ups.
Oh, but then here it says, this is about final girls and horror icons, but I suppose Michael Myers is, so, you know, we're covering everything. We're covering everything, basically, today. It says, Laurie's monologue confirms Michael's supernatural qualities and Halloween kills, making the hulking figure... Akin? What? What does that even say? What? I'm not even going to read that. Making the hulking figure to a demigod by saying... What? Demigod? That just reminds me of
Moana.
Oh, I love Moana. The more he kills, the more he transcends. That's it. That is what I was trying to fucking say. That's what I've heard before. In this way, Halloween Kills lays down a concrete marker that Michael is not human. So Laurie and the entire town put Michael through a ... I think for me as well, like you said about Scream, yeah. With Sydney, she is basically just fighting people.
Yeah.
Each time. Yeah. He's not like a supernatural fucking... You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
With Michael, like the scenes, like, just so fucking good. It's just so good. Gives me a wide on. Sorry. Just feel like there's... Because you know that it's something that she, up until Halloween Ends, I mean, that was a really random ending, couldn't defeat. It's the suspense that Halloween gives. Yeah, okay, there is suspense in Scream, but it's not the same.
No.
To me, she's just like a bit of a... I love Sydney Prescott. Like, I'm not knocking her, but she's just a bit whiny, isn't she? Like, Laurie will always be...
My friends are dead. My parents are dead.
No, but with, like, Laurie just gets on with it.
My friends are killers.
She's got fucking guns.
No.
She had a bloody basement ready to fuck him up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Bet she did.
No, but that's... I love that because she was, like, prepared.
Yeah.
That's how we'd all want to be if we had, like, something like that after us, innit? We were saying this the other day, weren't we?
What do we say?
About being horror fans, we'd know how to deal with things.
Yeah.
We wouldn't, because if it actually happened, we'd shit ourselves.
So I
ain't got a basement.
No.
I like the scene. Right, no, this isn't a Halloween podcast, sorry. I'm going off on one now. You know the scene where the fucking... I hate the daughter, though, I can't lie.
What's her name? What, as in Laurie's
daughter, not her granddaughter.
Yeah.
The fucking... she
know
wore
what
a
name
Christmas
is.
jumper, and it was Halloween. Get a life, get a proper job.
Yeah, but she's like... I don't know.
She's just fucking irritating, isn't she?
It's like she's not even there. She's
Yeah.
like, Mom.
No, but
Stop
I do like...
fantasizing over this killer. Just stop.
That sounds weird. No, I like this scene where I'm just going to say it. I know we are going to do a Halloween podcast, but I want to rewatch them because obviously I have watched them, but I want to literally have a day of watching them all. I probably need a couple. And then you need to watch some of them, don't you? And also I want to sort of... I know quite a lot about Halloween, but there's always more to know with it.
Yeah.
Because it's such a in-depth
thing.
Yeah. But you know the scene where the daughter is in the basement?
Yeah.
And then she's like pointing the gun and she's like, I can't do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then she goes, gotcha. Oh, fucking it gives me goosebumps. I'm such a nerd. I just wanted to say I like that scene. But it's like, that's the kind of, because of how Laurie is in it, that's the kind of atmosphere. Laurie gives that film that atmosphere.
Yeah.
Like the suspense that obviously Michael creates a lot of the suspense, obviously, for obvious reasons. But I don't know, there's just something really comforting with her. Does that make sense? Do you know when she done that video? I shared it when Halloween Ends come out, where she was like, what was it she said? she knows she was doing like her final farewell, and she was like talking about her fans. I cried.
Because she was bloody wanting to do Freakier Friday.
Yeah, but Freakier Friday is going to be banging though. I love Jamie Lee Curtis.
What would you rather? Another horror film with her in it, or Freakier Friday?
Yeah, but Freaky Friday is a massive part. Obviously, I'd want another horror with her in it, but obviously it was the end of Halloween, wasn't it?
No, but not even Halloween. Like another.
Yeah, but I just don't think she'd be able to play anything else. Like, obviously, she's been in other things, like other old horrors, but I just don't think she'd have that kind of. Like, she's Laurie Strode.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it would sit right with me seeing her in anything else. Like, it wouldn't sit right with me seeing Neve Camp. I know Neve Campbell's been in other things as well. I love Jamie Lee Curtis anyway, so I'm a bit biased because I love her in Freaky Friday. Like, she was massive in the 2000s.
Yeah.
So I love her anyway, and I would marry her, even as a granny. I'll be a granny basher. No, I love her though. She's just a legend, isn't she? Why is Stephen Hawkins on my phone?
What?
Stephen Hawkins.
Why?
I don't know. It's a...
What?
If you've got 12 correct answers in this quiz, you have an IQ above 140. It's Stephen Hawkins.
Sure.
Is that Stephen Hawkins, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. What guy? Rip. So I wanted to bring up them first because whilst there is a clear difference between Laurie Strode and Sydney, obviously, and in the films in general, like the franchise, there is obviously similar things as well.
Yeah.
I think it's the way it makes the fans feel.
Yeah.
I don't think obviously they're similar in the slightest.
No.
As people and as final girls, but the way they make horror fans feel gives that same effect, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But talking about, I think I know who your favourite is. Sienna.
Yeah.
Is that your favourite? Yeah. So then if we're now moving into like more modern horror, because I know Scream and Halloween has got newer films, but
newest.
Obviously Terrifier started in a new kind of era.
Yeah.
It hasn't carried on from a long time ago kind of thing. It's very different, isn't it, with Sienna Shaw, don't you think?
Yeah.
So, obviously, that's played by Lauren Lavera. What a girl. What a girl. What's your favourite then? What is it?
I don't know. She just...
I feel like I'm interviewing you. Tell me. Right, you can't say because you fancy her.
No, I was
that isn't a solid reason. No, you were thinking it.
I was thinking she's
I was getting mind powers. She's a bad bitch.
Yeah.
With Sienna... I love her. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, we're not talking about our favourite franchises because I don't think we've even done that yet, have we?
No. We've talked about individual franchises, but
not our favourites.
No.
Yeah. So, like for me, it goes Halloween, Scream, Terrifier, like my top 3.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay, Sienna is in there for me.
Yeah.
I think with her, she kind of brings it's like refreshing, isn't it?
Yeah, and plus she's like a teenager as well, so it's like.
Relatable. It shouldn't be relatable for me because I'm like pushing 30, but I know what you mean. It's kind of like a refreshing feel, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think as well, it's a completely, again, obviously I know this sounds
normally the final girls are bloody blonde.
Yeah.
Big boobs.
Oh my god. They're describing Laurie Strode.
They always trip over.
Yeah, I think as well, like, I don't think anyone expected her to be.
What?
Like a final girl, because obviously with the first Terrifier, there wasn't really one, was there? Really?
Vicky was.
But she was, but she wasn't. She wasn't, obviously, this is what I was saying to you before the podcast.
Yeah.
So basically, with the final girl, they're like the sole survivors, yeah?
Yeah.
Obviously, Vicky did survive it.
Yeah.
But she was all like fucked up, wasn't she?
Yeah.
And now she's obviously like a fucking demonic, whatever the fuck she is.
Yeah.
Whereas with Sienna, they introduced her obviously in the second one.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's only 3 to go on.
Yeah.
So obviously, they were going to create a final girl at some point.
Yeah.
But I didn't know if Damien Lamb was going to do it. So in every film, someone just died off.
Yeah.
And then it would be like a new story.
New one, yeah.
I didn't kind of expect that with Terrifier.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, so like we said in the Terrifier podcast, one was merely just for to see if people liked having Art the Clown as his own film and see how that felt like.
Yeah.
And then kind of as well as to introduce obviously Art the Clown and etc. And then obviously with the second one, it really got into it with the plot line and everything.
Yeah.
Whereas the first one was basically it was Halloween night, 2 girls. You know,
there was no real story behind it.
No,
was there?
It was mainly just an introduction to Art the Clown and how he acts and stuff.
Yeah.
But then the second one, third one, that's obviously the storyline.
And I think this is what I was about to say. Like I think it's very clever how they've done it. I know we're kind of going off fucking topic here, but with Terrifier 4, I feel like as it's going on.
Yeah.
We're getting more of the story. So, like, in the next one, hopefully we'll find out more about the connection with her dad.
Yeah, but I feel like, I don't know how they're going to do it, because obviously, if you haven't seen Terrifier 3, not my problem. But, spoiler alert, you know. But at the end, when obviously everyone's dead in the house, and Sienna's the only one alive, but then Terrifier's gone out the window, isn't he? So what's she going to do, Sienna? Obviously, the police, for one, when they come, but everyone's dead except from her.
So
and
she's going to get framed.
And this Art the Clown dude. Do you know what I mean? Because she has these like visions and stuff, doesn't she? So they're going to think, yeah, you're bloody psychotic, mate. Get in jail.
Psychotic, mate.
Yeah, but they'll think she's done it.
Yeah. I think as well with horror sometimes it's because we were talking about this earlier. Obviously the final girl is the sole survivor, but it's very easy to think, because when you think of like with Scream, like Gal Weathers, you could kind of class her as a final girl because she survived Ghostface so many times, but she isn't obviously the sole survivor. Ghostface is normally, well, he fucking kills anyone in sight, but in he's Scream, after Sydney.
Yeah. Well, in Scream, they just call them, because like with the time, it gets more obviously modern. I think instead of I can't even speak because there's so many people that have survived Ghostface. They've just called him the Woodsboro.
Fucking get your words out.
Woodsboro survivors, that's what they call them instead.
So like there
is no final because there's a group of them.
Exactly,
because like with Gail, Sam, Tara, and then we said about earlier,
but I'd say Sam and Tara were beginning to be the final girls. You know what I mean? And I like that because it's very rare that you get like two because you don't think of, like, this is what I'm saying to you. If you think of Halloween, Final Girl, you think of Laurie Strode.
Yeah.
If you think of Scream, you think of Sydney.
Yeah.
If you think of Terrifier, you think of Sienna Shaw.
Yeah.
It's very rare. Like Texas Chainsaw, you think of Sally.
Yeah.
You know? It's very rare.
But with Scream, they've just gone off track and there's more than one survivor.
Yeah, but I think it has to be like that because obviously Ghostface targets so many people.
Yeah.
I know Michael Myers kills loads of people. Group.
So, like, he targeted Sam, Tara, is it Chad, and is it Mindy? Yeah, the twins.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they all survived, moved to New York. Then they all got slash and dash and gash. And then we thought Chad died, but then he magically was alive again.
I don't know how the fuck he survived.
I don't know
because he's been stabbed more times than I've had hot dinners.
Yeah, because Mindy was obviously killed, but then was magically survived again. But she was killed in the subway, and then Chad was like brutally stabbed in the cinema.
In both of the films, wasn't it?
Yeah, because he had the scar, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then we're missing one actually. Actually. Who's that? Fuck. She's got really short blonde hair.
Kirby.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, she was in the last one.
She was in the Scream 4.
She got. She showed the really big scar, didn't she? And then they stabbed her in the same place.
She got stabbed by Charlie Walker.
Then she's alive.
Yeah,
again, you know. God.
I like Kirby. I'd love to meet her. She's a legend. But again, that's what I'm saying to you. People like that could be classed as a final girl.
Yeah,
because she's been through the others as well.
But they all just called in. Because remember now,
it's weird with Scream, isn't it?
In 6, they say we're the Woodsboro survivors. They don't say They say like final girl because remember when Mindy was
they
saying
can't take that title away from Sydney.
Yeah,
that's
why. When they were saying about Mindy was saying about how horror things work with like killers and suspects. And
she's
stuff.
Basically how Randy was in the first Scream.
Yeah,
because obviously Randy's their uncle, isn't it?
Yeah.
So she's that's very clever how they've done it. They've kind of made Mindy like the Randy.
Yeah.
like the Randy. I hate that name so much. It sounds like I'm being weird.
What, Randy?
Randy. Yeah.
Randy.
So just obviously if you're watching this, obviously you're probably into horror and you're not an absolute muppet and you know what a final girl is.
Yeah.
But just to break it down, because I think sometimes it can be, like I said, confusing thinking like maybe it's not, maybe it's obvious. Obviously Sydney is the final girl Scream, but I think because like I say there's so many, and again it goes back to nostalgia, like with Gal, even like Dewey, you could class him as a final boy because he survived so much up until he got obviously killed. No, but you know what I mean, up until that point he had survived so much, so you could kind of class him as that as well, really. But with final girls there is key characteristics. So it says here, traditionally the final girl is the only one remaining alive after the killer's spree, as we all know that. They defeat the killer, actively confronts and defeats the killer, often in a climatic showdown. What? Shut up. Stop looking at me like that. Climatic showdown, an intense showdown. And then resilience and resourcefulness. It says final girls are often portrayed as resourceful and intelligent. Laurie Strode, she knows her shit. You know what I mean? Capable of outsmarting and overpowering the killer. It's a bit like with Sydney, like you know, like I think there's a scene and Gal does it as well where they like she'll hang up on Ghostface.
Yeah,
like that's trying to outsmart him. Or like in Scream 5, Tara rings.
Yeah.
The phone, doesn't she? And then in Scream 6, Sam's dressed as Ghostface and kills the actual Ghostface.
Yeah, because she's in her dad's costume.
Outsmarting the killer and overpowering, really, because it's like, well, no, motherfucker.
My dad.
More dad. More daddy.
I've got those psycho genes.
I love the way that would have gone, though, with that. It's such a shame, isn't it? What does this say? Often abstains from sexual activity. This trope is a reoccurring theme in the archetype where the final girl is depicted as pure and depicted as pure and uncorporated. No, uncorrupted. What? Incorporated. Wait.
Monsters Inc. Incorporated.
Depicted as pure and uncorrupted, contrasting with the promiscuous characters who are targeted by the killer. Whatever the fuck that means. Psychological strength. Many final girls exhibit remarkable psychological resilience, enduring traumatic experiences and emerging stronger. Yeah, I see that. So like Laurie Strode, it says, look at me banging on about her. Considered one of the first final girls, Laurie is a symbol of resistance and resilience against Michael Myers. That's what I mean. She was the first final girl, really. I think that's what it is for me. Obviously, I wasn't alive when it came out. I was still dead. Tucked in my dad's nutsack, but swimming around. You're all right. I'm sorry. Is that making you feel ill? That's your granddaddy. You know, like you're going to be sick.
Lovely.
Are you ashamed of me?
No. I'm not ashamed of you. I'm proud of you. I just don't want to see you.
No, because I nearly choked on the water then. Don't. I need to choke. Oh my God. Oh, right. And then it says about the evolution of the final girl. The final girl evolves over time with some modern interpretations deviating from the traditional portrayal of the sole survivor. My back is fucking throbbing, wait there. Ouch. Sorry, guys. Some final girls. I'm really giggly.
Guys.
Oh, that's disgusting.
What?
Guys! And Final Girls are now depicted as more active participants in the fight against the killer, rather than solely relying on male figures for help. Big up the females. The concept of the final girl has been explored in various genres, including science fiction, supernatural horror, and psychological horror. Do you like me a psychological horror? Sorry. This ain't wrong with me, I'm telling you now. Not wired up right. What? So obviously another one would be Sally from Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah.
And Nancy Thompson from Nightmare on Elm Street. But I don't... Shut your mic again. Fucking clip it on your nose in a minute. But I wouldn't... Like, I'm probably going to get shot for this, but I couldn't give a flying shit. I wouldn't really cast them as, like... Like, I love Nightmare on Elm Street. Alright. And he said Nightmare Before Christmas. Oh no. Stop.
Oh, that was my belly then. Did you hear my belly?
Yeah, I did.
I need some dinner.
I love Nightmare on Elm Street, but stop looking at me.
Sure, the only time I can think of Nightmare on Elm Street now is when they did that puppet show.
What, for the love of horror?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good though, wasn't it? Yeah. But I don't think it has that. I mean, maybe it does for people that are dead into it. Like, I love the Freddy films, but I'm not like how I am. I'm going to say it again. I'm really sorry. It's not like how I am with Halloween.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
People have their favourite things and then not so favourite.
So if you're dead into Nightmare on Elm Street, then you're probably thinking, shut your fucking whore mouth. But if you're not and you're like me...
Yeah, but like with me, like, you know...
like...
I love, like, Scream, Halloween...
Yeah.
And all that jazz. But for me, like, I don't know. So how you are with, like, Nightmare on Elm Street.
Do you know how many people have messaged me saying that we're funny? And I've had loads of messages.
Really?
Yeah.
I've had none. I get no interaction.
Saying that we're a project. This is just us, honestly.
Yeah.
We're not even trying. We just can't look at each other.
She looks at me and I look at him.
But anyway, get your fucking words out.
Anyway, like how you are with Nightmare on Elm.
No, because I'm not. Do you mean Halloween?
No, as in like how you don't really like Nightmare on Elm Street.
No, I do.
But we don't. You do,
what?
but you no. You like it, but not as you like it. You like it, but not as much as you do Halloween.
It's not in my top 5.
Yeah, that's what I'm on about.
Yeah.
With me, I like obviously with Scream, Terrifier, Halloween, I don't know, Wolf Creek, etc. Yeah. But for me, I think you're gonna
What?
like you're gonna hate me for this. But with me,
What are you
I
gonna,
like
what are you gonna say? Are you gonna say what I think you can say?
What?
You fucking get out.
What's wrong with
Don't
it?
slag my man off.
No, I'm not on about him.
I'm not talking about Michael Myers.
No, I'm on about I like Chucky and Bride of Chucky and all that rubbish.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that.
But
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah, that's the same with
my
me.
favourite.
No, I thought you was about to slag my man off.
Who?
Michael Myers.
No, absolutely not.
Oh, right.
You could stand there all day if you want.
You dirty batch. Oh, chase me, Michael.
Walk, you know. You do.
Don't run, do it.
No, he walks.
He just says...
Vader.
He sounds like he needs a fucking asthma pump.
That's why he walks.
Yeah. It's quite savage, though, isn't it? When that's what I like about it, though. This
Yeah.
ain't a Halloween podcast, shut up. It's like, you trying to do the theme? What the frick frog was that?
I don't know. Something?
I don't think I could do it from the top of my head.
What?
The Halloween theme.
I don't know.
Go on. Do it.
Do it.
Do it. Do the Halloween theme.
No, because you bullied it.
No, but
you bully my.
What the fuck was that? Was that your attempt at it?
No, I
Go
was
on
just
then.
doing doo-doos.
Go on, do it.
Looks, I can't remember now.
Alexa,
Oh,
play the Halloween theme. I ain't fucking plugged in. It's mugging me right off. We're getting distracted. We're now Googling the Halloween theme. Obviously, I know it, but I can't just do it on command.
Oh wait, and Revolut thing. Hold on.
Oh, sorry, Rube. I've got all fucking day, mate.
There you go.
I'm sorry, but it is the best one in horror. Oh, my ears are ringing. Someone's talking about me.
Halloween 2.
Is that it, yeah?
Yeah. Dum, 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 dum.
Yeah, I like this one. I like it a lot.
We were gonna bet. Wave this up.
What?
Are you gonna get copyright for this?
No. Forward it a bit. Fuck me, it's going on a bit, isn't it?
I was reading the comments.
What?
I was reading the comments.
Don't you think it's weird though? Just jumping quickly. There's not many final boys, is there?
No.
It's always a final girl.
Yeah.
It's never a final boy. I can't think of any.
With horror, I feel like it gets a bit sexualised when it comes to women. You know?
Why wait for me to have my bottle in my mouth to say something like that? It's weird you saying something like that. Don't say sexualised in front of me ever again.
No, because like, it's always, like, you know, a woman with big boobs, you know? The boobs always get shown on camera. When she's running away, she automatically falls down and go, oh no! You know?
Yeah, but that makes horror, doesn't it?
And
Because
then
you just know when they trip up, they're probably going to get fucked up.
I see, it's always a man come and save her. Absolutely not. Look at my Sienna over here. No man. At all. Just her on her own.
Maybe she's got a dick.
You never know.
You look fucking raging because I've said that.
Yeah, I like both. I couldn't care.
Oh, so it don't matter if she's got a cock.
She can Sienna Shaw me any day.
Oh, that's grim. Nah. But I think like the front.
Hey, wait. So you can say about the old woman over here?
Who?
What's her name?
You just called it. Wait.
What's her name? I've got
Laurie Strode.
Yeah.
I would get in between her legs. All right, it's Laurie Strode.
Yeah, it's Sienna Shaw.
Yeah, I know, but Laurie Strode is a fucking legend.
Okay.
And I'm not saying I'll get in between fucking Siennas. I'm doing both. Sorry. No, this is being weird now.
I feel like we need to age restrict this YouTube one. This podcast.
Why do we need to age restrict it?
Maybe.
Right, I meant get in between her legs and just massage her thighs before she battles with Michael Myers. I didn't mean anything by that, you sicko. What did you think I meant?
Don't look at me like that. I know what you meant.
Well, when I say butter a biscuit, I actually meant put some butter on her biscuit for her.
Do you reckon when Brits say that?
What, butter a biscuit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do Americans think we're saying?
I don't know, because their biscuits aren't biscuits, are they?
No.
They're biscuits and gravy.
Biscuits and gravy.
Yeah. Sorry, but no. Right.
What's their biscuit then?
Right, they have like these weird fucked up fucking biscuity things, and then they have like a white gravy on it. It's not actually gravy because gravy's bisto.
I don't know.
Why are we talking about gravy and biscuits?
Because you said no, I'm not going to repeat what you
What about
said.
butter and her biscuit?
Yeah, and then what Americans think that we're talking about.
Right, for my fellow Americans, what I mean by butter a biscuit, I don't know what. I'd feed the pony.
They probably don't know what that means either.
Go fucking watch In Between Us then.
Well, a tutorial on how to do it. That's what, you know.
So moving on from Final Girls, because for me, I've got top three.
Yeah.
And that is Laurie, and they're the most known ones, really.
Laurie.
Laurie, Sid, Sienna.
Yeah.
Obviously, Sienna's only just come into like the horror world, really. But I also do like Sally from Texas Chainsaw, but she isn't. It's not something that carries on from one another. Obviously, like with Texas Chainsaw, it's just a lot of the time remakes. It's not. It's a franchise, but it's not like with Halloween and it's not got that nostalgic.
No.
So talking about other horror icons, I'm going to try not to talk about the actual killers
because that's for next week.
Because we're doing that next week. We're going to talk about slashers.
Split it up.
Yeah, it's kind of like one podcast in a way, I suppose, and it like talk because they are horror icons. Obviously, the slashers that we're going to be talking about.
But this one we're mainly talking about like the goodies.
Yeah, obviously we've mentioned Ghostface and Michael a little bit, but we'll dive
more into that next time. Yeah.
But some other legends that I think are really important in horror for me would be like,
well, even if they're like dead in the franchise,
especially if they're dead.
Well, I was thinking about Tatum from Scream because she's the one who stapled him as Ghostface.
Yes, that is a very...
Don't kill me, Mr. Ghostface.
I'm going to be in the
sequel. It's cringe.
Oh yeah, I'll need to go throw up immediately.
But she's the first one to say it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like an iconic
That's a quote that stuck.
Yeah.
And we all know that obviously Stu is a fucking legend.
Yeah.
But
and he's
created a lot of the quotes and things like that. So people like that are really important in horror, don't you think?
And he's coming back in here as well, so that's an important one. But technically, he did come back, but in a...
I'll be right back.
But he came back in like Sam's like visions, didn't he?
Yeah, but it wasn't.
Well, not
oh yeah, I suppose he did kind of. Yeah.
Technically, because it was his older self, but it was in her like psychotic. Do I want to be like my dad or not? Sort of thing.
You look like your eyeballs look like they're going to fall out. Then you look.
Do you want to be like my dad?
You look insane. Ah. We actually have left someone out, actually.
Who?
Because I'd still class her as a final girl. Even though nothing really happened to her. And she makes a reappearance in Jeepers Creepers 3. The sister, obviously, from the first Jeepers Creepers, survives. So that makes her a final girl, really. I know she hasn't been...
Have I watched that one, haven't I?
Yeah. Well, no, that doesn't, though. Cause, like, that's where it gets complicated, I think. Because she is an important role.
Yeah, but you only get classed as a final girl if you have fighted...
Fighted's not a word.
Oh, whatever.
I'm just saying.
Fought. If you fought
when you've had
the killer.
Scrap.
Yeah. Good old scrap with the killer, Mr. Ghostface.
If you've had like an encounter.
Yeah.
Like a physical encounter and like a repeated encounter sort of thing. Yeah, but I'd still like to mention her because I think Jeepers Creepers is fucking shit hot. Shit hot.
When you get those people. It's like the way they sing that.
What?
How they sing the song, it's just like
Jeepers Creepers, where'd you get those people? Where'd you get those eyes? I fucking love Jeepers Creepers. That used to creep me out though when I was a kid.
But speaking about songs though,
I'm just gonna put this down as a general horror chat, I think.
Yeah.
Because we've spoke about everything today. So.
Everything. We speak about songs though. I really like the horror songs. They just stick in my head. Like with Jeepers Creepers.
Well, yeah, because I think...
And then you got Find the Clown Cafe, you pay for me.
Yeah, but I
think they're all...
So I weren't fucking talking.
No, say something to you, say something to you.
Sake, man.
Go on.
Yeah, but I think that's what makes... Obviously not what makes horror, because that's a fucking ridiculous thing to say, but what I mean is it's things like that make it stick a lot of the time. The themes of a horror film.
Yeah.
Sorry. I nearly went with the themes of Halloween.
Yeah.
Keep going back to Halloween. Like, seriously though, everyone knows that theme tune.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think it makes it...
Yeah. But not even just like the theme tune of a film.
You mean the songs?
Yeah, like... just the songs in general.
I can't think of many though. You've got Clown Cafe,
but then you've got the I'm not even on about like the themes for the film. I'm on about like with
Can't Help Falling in Love, Conjuring. Yeah, sorry, I was.
Falling the window.
Yeah, it's Insidious.
By the window.
Whenever I hear that, that is just Insidious, isn't it? I Can't Help Falling in Love.
Yeah.
Is The Conjuring.
Yeah.
Period. With a capital P.
Bible.
I just gave myself the ick. Fuck my life.
What you got with obviously Scream? It's the I can't remember what it's called though. Do you like the Pinky? Pinky Blinders.
Pinky.
Now that I said it wrong, I can't say it.
Pinky Blinders.
Yeah, do you know their theme tune?
Yeah.
Red right hand.
Yeah,
That
Scream
one.
though, innit?
Yeah, but no, but that's what I think of when I hear that song.
Wait, Pinky Blinders?
No. No, I'm on about oh my god, strobing.
Pinky Blinders. I'm saying it now.
No, but
Fuck
that's
off.
the theme tune for Pinky Blinders. But
Fuck off. No.
but when I think of that song, I always think of
Scream. Yeah, Red Right Hand.
Mm.
It's not the fucking Peaky Blinders theme. Well, it is,
It
but it's
is.
not. I know it is, but it ain't right, is it?
Red right, yeah.
Oh, it was your frustration and you trying to say Peaky Blinders and you couldn't say it. And no one else could see your face other than me. You look fucking fuming. Sorry, guys. My eyes are streaming. I get what you're saying. I think having like one intense music
Yeah,
and also like a catchy song,
yeah.
whether it's their song, like obviously Clown Cafe is something they created,
Yeah,
but even having the songs in it
that are like spooky.
that are known, that have been made either spooky or meaningful,
Yeah,
like I Can't Help Falling in Love, that's
Yeah.
been like, I associate that with The Conjuring now.
yeah,
And like Tiptoe Through the Tulips, I hadn't heard of that until Insidious anyway.
yeah,
But every time I do hear it now, it's like Insidious.
Yeah.
Also, like Trick or Treat.
yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, I don't think he's that well known. Obviously, they're not on about Final Girls here. We're talking just general horror. But I think that should be a franchise.
What?
I don't know how
Trick or
they
Treat?
do it. I've said this before. We've spoken about this
Yeah.
on a podcast before. But I think he's an icon.
Yeah.
I think like Sam.
He's an icon, a legend, and he is the mom.
I think, well, if you like horror but you're not in horror, like we are,
Slasher.
yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
people would know it. If you are, then obviously everyone knows that Sam's a big part of the horror community. I just feel like they need to do more of him. Like, I mean, it's been a while, I think. I don't know. When was the first? The first? There's only fucking one. What am I banging on about? When was Trick or Treat out? But yeah, I just think that's pretty worth mentioning. Like, because his theme tune is pretty cool as well. And then obviously, like, I like it when horror films have, like, not obviously catchphrases, but have, like, what's the word, Rope? Because, like, with Sam, he's got the rules of Halloween, isn't he?
Yeah.
So, I don't know off the top of my head. So, everyone probably thinks of this when they think of Trick or Treat. So, it's wear a costume, hand out candy, never blow out a jack-o'-lantern before midnight, and respect the dead. So, like, they're the rules of Halloween in the Trick or Treat film. So, that's what everyone thinks of when they think of it. It actually says it on the back of my Funko Pop, I'm just saying. So, I think when a horror film...
Is Trick or Treat meant to be an old film?
I don't think it's old.
Because I'm getting really confused.
Why?
Because I thought there was only one. But it says 9th of December 2007.
Yeah, that's probably about right.
Oh my god, Trick or Treat's 18 years old.
It's not that old, Rube. Fuck me, you cheeky cow.
Hey!
Let me see.
I was born in 2007.
Yeah, but exactly. It ain't that fucking old. Yeah, 2007. Yeah.
But there was two.
Oh, fuck.
There was I don't know. There was two, though, it said, apparently.
What are you on about?
There
What
was
does it
an
say?
old one, and then there was another one. I don't know if it was a remake or whatnot.
No, I think that's Trick or Treat.
Oh.
This is Trick or Treat. It's Trick or Treat. Trick or Treat.
Trick and
But
Treat.
technically it's Trick or Treat.
What one?
The one with salmon. I don't know about the other one. Where's Trick or What? Trick or Treat. Was Trick or Treat 1975? This must be another fucking film. But what I'm getting at, the reason I've mentioned it, you should probably think of what the fuck are you chatting. But I like it. Sorry, just launched a phone out. I like it when a horror film has things like the famous quotes, for example.
Yeah.
So, like, obviously with Scream, you think of what you said about Tatum. When I think of Trick or Treat, I think of the rules of Halloween.
Yeah.
You know, I like it when a horror film does that. It might just be my brain.
Yeah, but it's the more... Well, when they first make it, like... script-wise...
I forget, my head feels like it's going to explode.
When they do it, like, script-wise, they don't know that it's going to be the most famous quote.
No.
It's just how the character portrays the line.
Yeah, and then obviously it's how the fans
see it.
Yeah. And like and I don't imagine, like, with the first Scream, that when she said that, everyone fucking was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
It's probably taken years for that to become the most
famous quote.
And, like, again, it goes back to nostalgia, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think it's really important that films have that, though.
Yeah.
Because what the fuck would I get signed on my shit when I meet people?
Oh, hold on. Sorry, just bonged in my brain.
I like a good quote, you know?
Joe with
Should I put the tumbleweed up? You need a piss?
Yeah.
She does this every podcast.
I know. Wolf Creek.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back to the final people.
Yeah.
Isn't that British bloke?
A final boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so that would be a brilliant example, actually. Even though Wolf Creek's not a massive... I wouldn't even class it as a franchise.
No, it's only... How many films?
There's going to be a third. Hopefully it will turn into that.
Yeah.
But even with a couple, I don't think it's really... Like, not a lot of people know it.
I don't think it's necessary.
Yeah, I mean, technically speaking, it probably is, but I wouldn't say it is. You know what I mean? Anyway, that is a very good example because he actually had fisticuffs with Mick Taylor, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then he survived it. So that would be an example of a final boy. But I literally cannot think of any final
that's
boys.
What I mean, though. That it's always
other than Chad's.
Yeah.
But again, he's not the
wasn't
sole
the main,
survivor.
Whereas that British person was the main victim. Yeah.
Would you say, like, this is going to be a really weird question now, and people are going to think, what the fuck are you asking in this question? When people survive in, like, paranormal films multiple times, does that make them a final girl? My stomach just rumbled. Does that make them a final girl? Do you get what I mean? Or is that really just like encounters with slashers?
I think that is slashers because it's an actual person
that you have
wanting to kill you, and you've survived
demon wants to kill you. It's just because you can't see it.
but sometimes with paranormal, they come back for a reason.
Yeah, to fuck them up, Rube. It's not.
No,
it's the same reason as any other.
Sometimes, like when things come back, it's because they've
conjured up.
That, or they have like unfinished business.
No, but no. Shut your mouth. No, but fucking divvy. No, but seriously, you're such a dim, honestly. I would class that as a final girl, though.
Okay, then let's get right.
Like, technically, Lorraine Warren's fucking seen some, isn't she?
Yeah.
Does that make her a final girl?
I guess so.
It doesn't. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Okay, there's like
because she still has had encounters and like had fights
what about
with
like
demons.
Okay, then what about with Insidious then? When like obviously
coughing. Sorry, guys.
The
daddy.
Obviously the devil comes back as their dad, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. And obviously he tries to kill the mum and daughter when he's obviously possessed. Possessed. But it's actually the demon. It's the devil, but it's portrayed as the dad.
Yeah, but I wouldn't class that as.
But he tries to kill the mum and the kids.
Yeah, but only once.
So what?
Yeah, but I'm on about countless encounters. Obviously, Lorraine Warren has had countless encounters, nearly died.
And that's what I'm saying.
And
So what happens if
survived.
you've only had one bloody
Then you're
encounter with a
not.
ghost?
You're just lucky to be alive, aren't you?
Like with the Conjuring, the first Conjuring, they only had one bloody. That was the one thing, wasn't it? Didn't come back.
Yeah, but not from fucking Lorraine Warren. It wasn't. She's had loads of encounters. The poor cow rip.
It was because she's had a special gift. That's why.
It sounded like Dobby then.
Master has given Dobby a sock. Master has presented Dobby with clothes.
You can do a better impression than that than Dobby, because I've heard it.
Yeah, I need to bloody...
That was shit.
Study his voice.
You know his voice, because you're a Harry Potter weirdo.
Yeah, I know, but...
Gary Potter. You're fucking looking at like that. Go on, do your Dobby impression. What's it says?
Master has given Dobby a sock. Master has presented Dobby with clothes.
No, that's shit.
No, I'm just saying it.
Oh, right.
Dobby is free. That's what he says.
Oh, okay. Alright, Ned. Obviously, I'm not saying whilst you're doing that, I'm not stating that people that have like demonic encounters are final girls. But I mean, if you have a film that's into a franchise that they've had like multiple encounters, does that make them a final girl? That's what I'm getting at. Do you get me?
Yeah.
Or is it literally just with a slasher? Obviously, I know a final girl is mainly slashers. You look fucking nuts. She's listening to Dobby because she wants to do an impression for you all again. Dance, monkey dance. That's my bottle, by the way. I just want to make that very fucking clear.
Presenting Dobby with clothes.
That's better.
He is free. So I was listening to it. You know what I'm saying?
Are you going to do it then?
I don't know.
I don't know. I think I love it how we do that and then we go straight back into it.
Yeah, anyway, so
but yeah, I think like with certain horror there has to be iconic moments. Like, because that's what fans remember.
Yeah.
So like
I can't.
Alright. Guys, I'm trying so hard today. Alright, my stomach's hurting.
So hard. We got so far.
So, like, this week, we're not going to lie, we didn't struggle on content, but we didn't know what to do. We had a bit of a brain numb. No, what's a brain numb? I made that up. A brain block.
Yeah.
Blockage, because I feel like we've been banging them out for the last 7 podcasts. Like, we've had these ideas. And we don't want to do, like, films each time. Yeah. We want to do, like, we're going to do my horror collection, showing all that on YouTube. Maybe do that, not this week, next.
Yeah.
So there's going to be other things as well that we're doing. But it's been quite difficult. So what we've said is this week we just have a general discussion talking about, like, horror icons.
Yeah.
Final girls. We have rambled, we've probably talked shit, but we wanted to put something out there this week. We didn't want to just leave you all hanging. But
if you are listening this far, if you are, then you can always like say in the comments if you have any ideas you want us to do,
because it does help, because sometimes we're not fucking, we're only human. And like we do struggle to think. I mean, that's probably because there's not one brain cell to rub between us. Yeah. But we do struggle. Obviously, we're gonna get so far in with it where we're gonna struggle at times because we would have done it.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you've got any ideas, let us know. But we're gonna do this in 2 parts. So this week we've just sort of done a bit of an introduction, talking about like things within horror, really, just a general chat. I want to call it a general chat.
Yeah,
because that's what it's been.
I feel like every single podcast is going to be like what we've done so far. Yeah, is like talking about Scream, general chat.
No, terrified. Obviously, when we do our podcast, we're going to go off topic a little bit because we're quite passionate about horror.
Yeah.
So if we start diverting a little bit, it's because we're nerds.
Yeah, we're nerds.
And that's just what we do. So next week we're going to talk about slashers. So Michael Myers, Jason, Freddy. I'm actually going to watch all the Jasons this week because I have seen them, but I'm not dead into Friday the 13th, but I want to be able to know my shit when I'm talking about it. Terrifier, Art the Clown. Did I say Freddy?
I think so.
Yeah, like all them slashers that we love, we're going to be talking about them, saying our favourites, kind of ranking them a little bit, saying, like, obviously, we know Freddy versus Jason was an actual thing, but, like, trying to imagine them against one another and things like that, like, just chatting about that. And then the following week, we'll do something completely different. We are going to do filming my horror collection, and we're going to do it so I'm behind the camera, filming Ruby, holding my stuff, and then we'll be talking about all the different pieces, where they're from. And then maybe the following week we could do tips on collecting and things like that, because Ruby, even though Ruby's not collecting yet, I feel that she knows quite a lot. Yeah. Because you've watched me collect. Yeah, and I know you know what I go for. You know the
and correct. Plus, like, even though I haven't collected yet, I'm wanting to collect.
You know what you want.
Yeah. I'm wanting to start it at some point within this year. Yeah. So I'm saving up, like, for HorrorCon and like birthday wise, etc. So I've been looking at researching other people's on TikTok, and they've explained about who to go for, who not to really reach out to because of quality wise and stuff. But that's what we're going to talk about as well.
And I think because you have watched me do it, I think you've picked a lot of tips and tricks.
Yeah, but there's loads of people who are horror geeks like me but haven't collected yet and wanting to, but exactly. Don't know where to start. Do you know
that doesn't make you any less of a horror. We could also talk
about, like, little starter pieces to the collection, because you'll see loads of people have, like, the big old dolls and the big things, but then people don't really talk about the little tiny things that you could that you should start on using.
Yeah, I started small,
like Funko Pops.
I started small, but then I also, without going too much into it, 'cause this is for another podcast. But I started small, but I also still buy smaller things because it helps fill gaps and things like that. But we'll talk about that not this week. Not this, like, fucking 3 weeks away from when we were talking about it, Rube. So yeah, just to let you know what's going on. Next week is slashers. Following week is my horror collection. And the following week after that, we'll be doing, like, tips, where to avoid and things like that. We have got a few ideas lined up now, but we didn't this week. This is why this is a little bit fucking messy. Yeah. But just bear with us. We are only, like, not even 2 months in, are we?
This is our 8th podcast.
Like, we've content created for a while. I've been doing it 4 years on TikTok. I've recently gone onto Instagram. Ruby's been creating for a while. So we are very, very experienced, I was saying, content creating.
I think we're more experienced with TikTok because it's very short
videos, short and snappy. Yeah, whereas with this, you've got to keep the conversation going. And I'm not going to lie, we're being ourselves. So a lot of the time we're laughing, but that's just who we are. So
I feel like, with TikTok, you can get out there. You can literally video it, post it. You know what I mean? Whereas with YouTube, it's very much, it's longer form. So you need to think about of what you're doing within the video, what you're going to speak about, and then you have to plan each one. Whereas with TikTok, you can see a bloody audio, and you can lip sync it and post it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. But I think it is good sometimes to throw in the odd general discussion about horror anyway, just to fill the gaps in between the podcast. Yeah. And that's kind of what we've done today. Yeah. So apologies if it isn't what you were wanting or anything like that, but it's what you fucking got.
But if you put in the comments what you would like to
please do
hear or see, let us know.
We are going to do a Halloween podcast, but that isn't going to be yet because like I said, I'm comfortable with Halloween. I can talk about Halloween, but there is so much to it that, no disrespect to Ruby, but Ruby needs to really be able to understand it. Even there's things that even I don't know.
But you could be the most advanced person on Halloween, get one thing slipped up and everyone's bloody barking at you.
But that's what it's like, if exactly that, and I can't be done with that because I will literally make you cry. So Ruby was saying any input is really appreciated. I really couldn't give a fuck how many likes we get on the videos. That isn't what's important to me. I like the interaction on the views.
That's what I was going to say. It's mainly the engagement.
The views are good, but I mainly would like more than anything for people to comment and just give us a bit of feedback.
So if you don't like it, when you comment, it does build up the engagement. Like, I finally started to get a little tiny bit on my Instagram. It should be linked down, shouldn't it? All of our Instagrams.
Yeah, it's all in the description. Yeah.
So on my TikTok, mainly my TikTok, because I post from there 24/7. pretty much almost. I do get the same people come back and engage, and then with my TikTok I find, because I've been posting like the stories on there of like there's new It come out or coming out, and then there's something else to come out, and because I posted it on my story, someone's then commented on it.
Yeah, but exactly, and that's what I've had with Instagram. A lot of people that are watching this podcast don't comment on it. They'll message me, or they'll comment on the pictures that we put up and things like that. That is fine. If you don't want to comment on this video, say in the input, either message me or message Ruby. All of our details are in the description on our social media. Any input you want to put forward, we're more than happy to hear it. But other than that, I think that's it for this week. Thank you so much for dropping in as usual. Like I said, apologies if it was a bit all over the place, but we didn't want to not put anything out there. And we will speak to you all next week, and we love you lots. Bye.